Good afternoon and welcome to Sharon J. Drysdale Field in Evanston. Matt McHugh joined by Noah Kaufman as the Northwestern Wildcats will host the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Top of the sixth inning coming up from Sharon J. Drysdale Field here in Evanston. The Wildcats out to a 3-1 lead over Notre Dame as Danielle Williams heads back for her second inning of work. Williams getting your textbook 5-2-5U double play to end that last inning, and now face the 6, 7, and 8 spot starting with M.K. Bonamy. Rise ball to her, called a strike, and Williams looks a little more locked in getting that first pitch strike.
Absolutely. That top part of the zone has been called consistently by home plate umpire Mike Burwell, and Danielle Williams aiming to use it.
Oh, the 0-1 count to Bonamy. Swing and a miss. A huge drop on that changeup from Williams, and now 0-2.
And that's what she's made her money with this season. The change in speed is so severe from her, from that rise ball to that changeup. It's just impossible for a hitter to stay on both pitches.
And the movement, too, on top of that. That's what really makes that a special, special pitch for Danielle Williams. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss once again with the off speed, and that is just nasty, folks, from Danielle Williams. Her first strikeout of the afternoon.
That's textbook Danielle Williams right there, Matt. That's what we've seen all year from this freshman phenom. She rubs that ball up and just delivers right at the bottom exactly what she wanted to do with that pitch. Started at the knees and just run it right under the plate. Didn't throw too many off-speed pitches in that last inning as she was still getting acclimated. Now she's got it going.
First pitch called a strike. The pinch hitter Chelsea Purcell coming into the game, but talking about Danielle Williams and the strikeout numbers, Noah, that's 179 now for her, the third most by any first year in all of college softball. And this one's fouled back 0-2.
That's now a tie for the Big Ten lead. One more will put her in front there. And she not just third for any first year, but that's also 7th in all of softball. So really incredible stuff from Williams.
Making her presence felt on that national stage, there's no doubt about it. It's the 0-2 count. Fouled off by Purcell, just getting a piece of that one to stay alive.
And you can see how in front of that off-speed she was. Matt twisted herself all the way around to put it back to the screen out in front of us. But a good job, like you said, to stay in it on that off-speed. But if Williams goes back to a high-rise ball here, don't see her catching up to it.
Just a second at-bat this year for the junior from California. She's 0 for 1. The 0-2 pitch grounded towards third. Dunlap fields cleanly and fires on first in time. So a couple quick outs for Danielle Williams here in the 6th inning. That will be 2 away for the catcher, Heidi.
Looked like she went back to the curve there for that one and able to jam Purcell. She's got all her pitches working right now. Like I said, in the first, it was mostly rise balls, a lot less off speed, and that allowed the Notre Dame hitters to time her up a little bit better. Now that she's got everything going, it's a little bit tougher.
Heidi 0 for 2 on the afternoon as she fouls off the first pitch. The Fighting Irish catcher trying to spark a 2-out rally for Notre Dame, down 2 in the 6th inning, but a tall order against Danielle Williams, that is for sure. It's not often that teams have such a great scoring chance against Danielle Williams like Notre Dame had in that 5th inning.
Yeah, and like you said, then, Matt, they're probably going to end up regretting it, regretting missing on it. Just even a little bit over-aggressive, knowing that was a rare scoring opportunity against Williams, going off that first contact from third may have ended up costing them.
So now a 1-1 count on Heidi. This one called a strike at the knees, 1-2. And the Wildcats, once they score at least 3 runs like they have today, they're 25-1 on the season. Once they get into the late innings, too, they rarely give up leads, especially when you have Danielle Williams in the circle.
Absolutely.
1-2, popped foul down the first base side, out of play.
And interestingly enough, Williams looking for her 2nd save of the season. She's actually the only Wildcat pitcher with a save so far. Saves pretty rare overall in college softball, thanks to most pitchers just going the distance if they got it going. But hoping to double that up in addition to her 19 wins on the year.
Especially with all who she does in that starting role for Northwestern. The 1-2 swing and a miss. Once again, the off-speed pitch from Danielle Williams puts Heidi down on strikes. The 2nd strikeout of the inning from Danielle Williams as she gets a 1-2-3 frame. One more look at that off-speed pitch. Just an absolutely nasty changeup from Danielle Williams. That sets the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-1, the Northwestern lead here on BTN to go. Bienvenidos a una nueva edición de Fast Facts de la NBA. Hoy tengo 3 preguntas claves para vos antes de los playoffs. Número 3. ¿LeBron James va a la postemporada? Los mejores 8 equipos de cada conferencia califican por los playoffs. Ahora LeBron y los Lakers están en la posición 10 y tienen que saltar a 2 equipos para llegar a la postemporada. Hace 13 años que LeBron no se pierde unos playoffs. ¿Pasará este año? Hello, darkness, my old friend. Número 2. ¿Quién es el MVP? LeBron siempre es candidato, pero este año Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, es el líder de los Bucks de Milwaukee, el mejor equipo de la conferencia este. Pero todavía está James Harden, que ganó el premio del año pasado. Número 1. ¿Hay alguien que puede matar a la dinastía de los Warriors? No. Los Warriors son uno de los mejores equipos armados en la historia de la liga. Si los Warriors no ganan el campeonato por tercer año consecutivo, sería la sorpresa más grande de toda la liga. ¿Y qué piensan ustedes? ¿Están de acuerdo conmigo? Raiders training camp is underway in Napa as John Gruden, Jordy Nelson, and other new faces wear the silver and black for the first time. But one big story is who is not here in camp. Star linebacker Khalil Mack holding out for a new contract extension. Talks are ongoing between him and management.
You know, Reggie will be able to update you on his situation. He's been in contact with his representation, and hopefully we get him in here soon because he's an exciting player. He's one of the best in football.
As for the people who were at camp, Pro Bowl receiver Jordy Nelson, who signed a 2-year, $15 million contract in March, wore the Raiders uniform for the first time. Nelson is 33, but that didn't concern folks at Raiders camp.
Yeah, he's wired in. You can see why he was a security blanket for Rodgers all those years. But he can still run. He's proven to us he can run. We can line him up anywhere we want, and he can run any route we draw up.
The thing that you hear about that he can't run anymore, that's false. I can tell you, he's one of the fastest skill guys that we have still. He can run, and you see that by his route running. You know, if he can win on underneath routes, that means DBs are scared of what he can do over the top. So, you know, he's still Jordy Nelson, that's for sure.
And of course, all eyes will be on how Carr and Gruden work together all season.
I don't know if anything with him surprises you. You know, I will say this, that he has not changed one bit. You know, since the first time I met him at Gruden's QB camp till first day of actual training camp practice, he is the same person, and that says a lot, that he doesn't change.
Raiders camp will continue here in Napa for the next few weeks as they prepare for their preseason opener against the Lions in Oakland on August 10th. Matt McHugh, KRON 4 News. 3rd and 8 at the 24. Empty back set for Thorson. Now Hanaoka options in. The handoff goes to him. He gets wrapped up at about the 20-yard line. Northwestern either setting up a field goal or considering this 4-down territory, just trying to get some of that. It's going to be 4th and 5 for Northwestern here at the Notre Dame 20-yard line.
I was floored by that decision because almost every time that you see Chad Hanaoka come in, you know what kind of play it's going to be. He's really good in pass block, especially for a guy his size and for a guy that's barely played to this point in his career. But that time he got the handoff to set up something more manageable on 4th down.
4th and 5, the 20-yard line. Hanaoka stays in the backfield. Riley Lees goes in motion for Northwestern. Thorson looking towards Lees, has some pressure, trying to get it to Skowronek, and he hauls it in with one hand. Bennett Skowronek with an incredible catch. He slides down near the 10-yard line. A 4th down conversion for Northwestern at a pivotal moment in this game.
Thorson on his back foot with heat right into his face as the pressure got to him. Off his back foot, and Skowronek makes an absolutely incredible catch, reaching out, pawing it back to himself with his outstretched right hand to move the chains.
First catch of the day for Skowronek. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats at the 13. Screenplay for Riley Lees on the left side. He's knocked out of bounds at the 9. 2nd and 6 coming up for Northwestern, but that Skowronek catched him with one hand reaching out to catch that. He tips it up and then hauls it in. He was open, but what a play still by Bennett Skowronek.
And then Thorson, to his credit, had to make a pretty good throw because he had a defensive end right in his face, just a second or a split second even from hitting him. But Skowronek made a fantastic catch, one of the best this season.
Isaiah Bowser lined up to Thorson's right in the shotgun set. Superback Cam Green in motion. The handoff goes to Bowser, and he's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere for Bowser to go. on that one. Third and 7 or third and 8 coming up for Northwestern here.
That Notre Dame front again getting pressure immediately. Green again motioning from the right side to lead block on the left, but a delayed handoff that time. Green got to his target, but all the rest of the targets were able to get through the Northwestern offensive line much too quick. Bowser had no shot.
Hanaoka comes in for Bowser as the third down running back. 3rd and 7 at the 10-yard line. 9 minutes left in this half of football. Notre Dame a 7-0 lead. Northwestern trying to tie things up. Hanaoka in motion. He's now at Thorson's right. Shotgun set. Thorson has a second to pass. Looking towards the end zone, and it's batted away in the end zone. Jalen Elliott, the safety, swatting it away. Cam Green, the intended receiver, in the corner, but a flag comes in that corner of the end zone.
Cam Green, the intended target for Thorson in the corner, tried to loft it up to his big target. It looked like good coverage initially from Elliott, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was pass interference based on where the flag was thrown.
Pass interference called against Notre Dame. So a break for Northwestern once again. And they've had a couple of those today. We mentioned the penalties. Neither team gets penalized much at all. Notre Dame, the 8th fewest penalties in all of college football. But they've had some costly ones today, and that sets up 1st and goal for the Wildcats.
Already 4th penalty for 33 yards for Notre Dame. We mentioned those 2 on the previous Irish drive, set them back, took them out of field goal range more or less. This one has given Northwestern a golden opportunity.
Wildcats at the 2-yard line. Jumbo set, handoff to Bowser, makes one man miss, dives for the end zone. The signal comes in, and he's just a bit short of the goal line. Looked like for a second he might have it. He gained about 2 yards, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal, just inches away from that goal line.
Going back to that last play for just a quick second, as I do think Bowser was hit just short of the goal line. Looked like by number 40, Drew White, that other backup linebacker that we mentioned. Elliott kind of got his right shoulder pad into Cam Green's left shoulder pad, knocked him to the ground.
Half-yard line for Clayton Thorson and the Wildcat offense. He dives for the goal line. Touchdown, Northwestern. Clayton Thorson on the QB keeper. And the Wildcats now an extra point away from tying this game against Notre Dame in the second quarter.
5th rushing touchdown of the season for QB 18. Lethal on those 1-yard quarterback plunges like we mentioned earlier. We saw him execute from the middle of the field on a play exactly like that, exact same situation. And I want to say, Matt, when you have 1st and goal from the 2 like that and you can run the same scheme but 2 different plays, that really plays to your advantage as an offense. They ran Thorson directly under center. I thought they were going to QB sneak it from the 2, handed it off, and then that set up 2nd and goal from the half-yard line and allowed Thorson to sneak it in from there.
Kubander on for the extra point. He sends it through, and we are tied at 7 apiece. Parton wins the tip down to McIntosh, and we are underway in Michigan. Parton hands it off to Lindsey on the right wing. Picked up by Ali Abdur-Rahman. Now dribble handoff from Law to McIntosh. Down low Parton. He has Law. Corner 3 is up. Rattles out. No good.
It's fantastic offense from Northwestern to start the game. An open look for Vic Law. Can't really be too mad about that.
Abdur-Rahman brings it up the court. Now hands it to Simpson. Simpson started the year as the backup point guard. Has since taken over that starting job and improved significantly from his numbers last year. Now 10 seconds to shoot. Simpson switched on to Parton. Has a wide open 3 for Matthews, which is no good. Lindsey fighting for the board. Tips it to Law. McIntosh going to push across the half-court line. Now has Skelly at the top of the key. To Lindsey, right corner, steps in. His mid-range jumper is good to get things going for the Cats, 2-0.
Great shot from Lindsey there. I think Northwestern definitely a little bit of cause for concern on that first offensive possession, allowing a wide open 3, and that's what this zone can leave you vulnerable to sometimes. Hopefully they can adjust as this game goes on.
18:54 left in the first half, just underway here in Michigan in a 2-0 lead for the Wildcats. Isaiah Livers has it on the left wing, now has Rockman. Back up top to Simpson. Clock ticking down to shoot. Rockman lets it fly, no good. Lindsey again tipping the rebound down. Skelly comes up with it. McIntosh going to push again, trying to keep that tempo moving a bit, but Simpson sticking on his hip the whole time. Now good pick from Parton. McIntosh, some space for the floater. Money, as always, from McIntosh. 4-0 Cats.
He really is just so dominant when he can get into the lane and be able to throw up that floater. A great screen there from Derek Parton to free him.
The McIntosh trademark shot when he has a little space in the key. That floater gets Northwestern going here early. They're 2 for 3 from the field, 2 minutes into the ball game. From the corner, Matthews will let another three go. This one is good, and it's 4-3 Northwestern.
Yeah, Matthews not really that much of a three-point shooter, 34% on the year, but if he's open, he can definitely knock it down. And Skelly a little bit late there on the closeout.
If he's knocking those down, it will be a tough game for the Wildcats as Law hits McIntosh in the left corner. Now has Skelly posting up, Simpson on a mismatch, double team by Wagner with some contact, and one! Gavin Skelly fighting through the foul, a chance for a three-point play.
A fantastic move by Skelly there to the inside, taking advantage of his size, and that's also a heads-up play from McIntosh. Noticing the switch, got Isaiah Livers onto him. Skelly had Xavier Simpson there on him, and was able to take advantage of it, and a great bucket there through the contact.
6-3 the Northwestern lead. Skelly will try to make it 7-3 at the line here. Gavin Skelly has started now 14 games for the Cats this year. He and Aaron Falzone have kind of switched off as the year has gone on at that starting 4 spot. The senior's free throw is good, and it's 7-3 Northwestern.
I'm really impressed so far with the Northwestern offense. They really are running very efficiently and really haven't had a bad look so far, which is something that's very, very exciting against this athletic Michigan team.
Abdur Rahman takes it up the court this time for the Wolverines. Now Simpson has it at the top of the key. Northwestern putting the pressure on the defensive end as well. Livers trying to dribble past Skelly, then sends it back up top to Simpson with 10 to shoot. Parton comes up to check on him. That's a mismatch as Matthews drives on Lindsay, goes up, now has a wide open Simpson for 3. No good. Vic Law grabs the board. Vic Law is going to push ahead to Lindsay. Takes it up past the half-court line, now gets it back to McIntosh to reset.
Michigan really seems out of sync on offense and has gotten a lot of open looks. A great pass out there from Matthews to Simpson. And then Simpson just threw up a brick off the back rim there. A really, really poor pass.
Ball tipped away there by Matthews. Law has it back, but just 10 seconds to shoot for the Wildcats. Parton sets the pick. Wagner comes up to help. McIntosh sends it down to Parton down low, but Wagner in the passing lane tips it away. And Abdur Rahman's going to push. Has Matthews on the left wing, guarded by Skelly. And the Northwestern bench thought a double dribble or a carry there, but nothing called. Now Simpson has it on the right wing with 15 to shoot. Simpson, as the offense stalls for a bit, tries to get past McIntosh, has switched on to Parton. Livers down low to Wagner. McIntosh guarding him. Wagner goes up from the mid-range. No good. Long rebound grab by McIntosh. McIntosh is going to push. Has the ball in the key. Now on the right wing to Lindsay. 16:09 to go in the first half. 7-3 the Northwestern lead. McIntosh dribble handoff to Lindsay. Now to Skelly. Back up top to Lindsay. Wagner lost his man Parton down low for a bit, then recovers on to Lindsay. Ball goes out of bounds off of Scotty, and that will send us to the under 16 timeout. 15:55 to go in the first half. 7-3 the Northwestern lead. Hank Christie back on the mound for the Wildcats in the bottom of the second inning. He'll look to bounce back after giving up a 2-run home run to Cody Clemens in the first. Christie threw 17 pitches that inning, so the pitch count not an issue so far, but the long ball has plagued him in the past. That was only the first home run he's allowed this season. But that's an issue he's had before, just keeping the ball in the yard. As a pitch-to-contact pitcher, that's one of the critical elements of his game day in, day out. He'll face the 6, 7, and 8 spots of the Texas lineup, starting with the third baseman Ryan Reynolds, sophomore, making his 9th start of the year in 3:04 with a 4.52 on-base average. Takes a first pitch strike from Christie at 86 miles an hour. Christie trying to operate quickly. And the 1-0. Off speed had him way out in front, so a 1-1 count on Reynolds. That's something we saw last night from not as much Quinn Lavelle, but really Chase Sugar, the Texas starter. Once he got into a groove, once he started retiring 2-3 guys in a row, he was moving very quickly on that mound. As Christie misses well outside with the breaking ball for ball 2. Infield playing Reynolds straight away, and the pitch from Christie just below the knees at 84 miles an hour. Outfield not shifting much either for Reynolds. Not much of a book on him. He is just a sophomore, and that makes him one of the more experienced players actually in this Texas lineup. Takes a strike at the knees for called strike 3. throws him with the breaking ball, and Reynolds goes down looking. The first strikeout of the night for Hank Christie. So now the bottom of the order for Christie to deal with. It's the 7-hitter Tate Shaw. Shaw back in right field tonight, making his 9th start of the year as well. First pitch is fouled off of the mask of Jack Kelly. That one's going to sting. So the home plate umpire Steers will take a slow walk out to the mound, toss that ball to Christie, and give Kelly a chance to recover from taking that one off the mask. Shaw, slowly but surely, has worked his way more and more into this Texas lineup. As the 0-1 pitch from Christie, lined back foul. Shaw's first year on campus, his true freshman year, he did not play at all. He redshirted. And then his redshirt freshman year, he only got into 9 games. All of those were as a pinch runner. Last season, his redshirt sophomore year, he played in a part-time role, hit 239 in 38 games. He waves at the 0-2 pitch. Christie again, back-to-back strikeouts for the sophomore right-hander. And that's one way to get things going for the Cats, and not letting anyone put one in play off of him. He's got 2 outs. So Shaw heads to the Pine, and DJ Petrinsky, the catcher for this afternoon game, steps up. Petrinsky was at first base last night as he takes a fastball for a strike. But he's split the time with Michael McCann behind the dish. Petrinsky is a transfer from Hill College, one of the many transfers brought in by Coach Pierce to this Texas lineup. It's the 0-1. A little bit lower than that last pitch. That was an off-speed, though. And it's called a ball. And Petrinsky and McCann kind of fighting for playing time behind the dish. He gets a piece of the 1-1 pitch back to the screen. And that's a good way for Pierce not only to bring some new talent, and that's obviously the first objective when you bring in those transfers. And he says he wants them to compete and produce immediately, but it also applies a little bit of pressure to the established guy, someone like a McCann. Just to put a little bit more effort into your game, try to be better than the other guy. But down on strikes again, DJ Petrinsky swings through the fastball from Christie, and Hank Christie strikes out the side for the Wildcats in the second. On to the top of the third, still a 2-0 Texas lead. You're listening to Northwestern Wildcat Baseball on WNUR Sports.